Welcome, PlayStation Nation, to Square Triangle Circle X, presented by GamersRUs.com. I am your host, Eric RickityBeans Rubino, so plug that PS3 back in, take your PS4 off of standby, and system link your PS Vitas. So we're going to talk about PlayStation games today. On the agenda, we have a new game from Ready at Dawn Studios, the one and only The Order 1886. We got a new trailer last Tuesday, and I'll look at some of the gameplay, so let's talk about it. This game is going to be single-player only, third-person shooter, set in an alternate history version of 1886 London, steampunk mixed with supernatural. Think Dishonored. And players are going to assume the role of the member of the Order. They're protectors of London since the medieval era. 3 of the members have the same names as the Knights of the Round Table, so that may play a role in the story. We don't know yet. The gameplay we see has 2 members of the Order fighting these rebels. These rebels are causing an uprising in the district of Whitechapel, basically because they're being oppressed by the wealthy, and the Order are kind of hired by the wealthy, so they're caught up in the middle of all of this. Gamers are trying to point out some flaws in this game, like the shooting looks reminiscent of Gears of War or Uncharted. The game is all looks and just gorgeous for the sake of it, and that lots of poor gamers out there are complaining about QuickTime events. Well, here's why I think that The Order 1886 can really stand out. Mixing interactive cutscenes with third-person shooting reminds me a lot of The Last of Us recent DLC Left Behind. The game had gorgeous visuals, interactive minigame segments, and a solid third-person shooting segment. And The Order 1886 is making the cutscenes in-game indistinguishable, forcing gamers to be focused on playing at all times, constantly thinking, is this a cutscene or is this interactive? When will this cutscene become interactive? And stuff like that. So, also, the developers at Ready at Dawn are saying that the player has the choice of how cutscenes play out, with no fail points if you miss a prompt, but an ultimate fail at the end. Now, this is going to help alleviate the issue with playing minigames over and over before succeeding seeing every path. Where gamers complain a lot about having actual gameplay in the games, and this is a great way to mix the gameplay into the story, and then they can add in the elements of common AAA shooting games. It can help bring the narrative of the game and gameplay together better than its predecessors ever have, and pull in a more casual crowd while still pleasing the hardcore gamers. Now add in the supernatural and unexplained things, like the possibility of werewolves, the evolved technology, and the alternate history timeline, and this gives the game a unique setting, story, and set of characters. To boot, Kirk Ellis is on board as co-writer, who happens to be an Emmy Award-winning writer and the producer on the HBO miniseries John Adams. You can definitely see that in the way this game looks. It looks like a painting, there's low light, dirty streets, and fancy clothing. Now, Ellis isn't a video game writer, so I really think he can bring fresh ideas to the table that we haven't seen before. And honestly, Knights of the Round Table fighting werewolves in 1886 London is definitely something that we have never seen before. Ready at Dawn Studios has a great pedigree in front of them, most notably the God of War PSP titles, so I have tremendous faith in the studio and in their game. In conclusion, The Order 1886 is definitely on my radar, as well as Gamers R Us's radar coming this winter. Well, that's all I have for Square Triangle Circle X today. I am Eric RickityBeans Rubino from Gamers R Us. Game on.